Hi, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Ok Xoomer. I'm your host, Aaron Lichtig, Xometry guy and former Jeopardy champion, and I'm excited to be here today with Laura Ely. She's the Director of Programs at the Barnes Global Advisors and a well-known additive manufacturing leader. Welcome, Laura.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
All right, so let's get started by talking about your work at the Barnes Global Advisors.
Yeah, so at TBGA, because that's kind of a long name to say over and over, we're a team of engineers. We have cumulatively over 130 years of additive manufacturing experience. And I don't know that we've tallied up total in manufacturing, but many years there as well. But our mission is to help industrialize additive and advanced manufacturing. It's really kind of that simple. So we operate across the full value chain, from materials all the way through to final inspection. We support qualification, we support strategy, and we have three core offerings from our business. We have the advising side, where we're doing traditional consulting. We have training, which we stood up that business because as we were in the process of doing consulting, we found that a lot of people needed a better foundation to understand additive, to really go into building their strategy and launching their programs. And so we have an online certificate as well from with Purdue University, as well as doing live workshops where either we'll fly around or more recently we would do it, of course, via Zoom with the pandemic restrictions. And then the final is we have a communications group. And this is where we help people in the additive manufacturing industry basically tell their story. I personally love to operate at the intersection of people, technology, and strategy. For me personally, in addition to running programs for the group and ensuring customer satisfaction and make sure that everything's running well within the business, I tend to lead more of the strategic projects. So that could be building technology roadmaps and business plans, focusing on people and organizational strategies, team strategies. And then another thing that we've been doing a lot of, I think we have the fifth one going this year, is helping people with investments. So mergers and acquisitions and doing technical due diligence type of work for them.
Excellent. Now, it's really interesting you talk about that intersection of people and technology and strategy. What advice would you have for a company that is looking to get into additive manufacturing or scale up additive manufacturing across those three dimensions?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's important that you focus on all three of them. A lot of times we'll see someone will come to us with a really quite well thought out technology strategy, and they'll have swim lanes for materials and processes. And then we'll go, well, what about your people strategy? Where are the people? And so obviously the people are what make the world turn and are going to go and adopt that. So I spend quite a bit of time talking and reflecting with people, having gone on my own technology adoption journey in my past. And I think it's really important to match the people and the organizational knowledge that you have on your team to the phase you are in your journey. If you're early startup, then it's a lot of blue sky thinking, and it's people that are ready to kind of break the norm and the mold. But as you transition into more of a manufacturing and production environment, you need people that are focused on basically doing the same thing over and over and over. Mm-hmm. And I think that's sometimes where people feel like, but this is the team I started with. This is the team that I should have. And it's also a time where sometimes you see a little bit of attrition on the team because people say, no, I want to go back and do more blue sky thinking. I don't necessarily want to do, the work into production. And I think that's healthy as well, is, that kind of regeneration of the new team, whether it be the leadership from a business standpoint or even on the technology side.
Gotcha. Now, how did you get interested in the additive manufacturing space to begin with?
Well, I guess you start at the beginning. So I was a metallurgical engineer and I fell in love with molten metal. So I knew I wanted to be an engineer, but I saw that and I was like, this is just really cool. I went to an open foundry and did that. So that launched a career into manufacturing for me. So I was a metallics, materials and process engineer. I worked at a copper and brass mill. Then I went over to Aerospace in a big 1 million square foot machine shop, working with all these different, metals technologies and, wearing my steel toe boots and my hard hat every day. I loved being a part of making things. When I was at GKN Aerospace doing production within the shop, I had the opportunity to start leading a friction stir welding technology project. So that was really exciting. It was very cool technology. But what it did is I ended up going to an international technology conference for GKN, and it put me in contact with this international community of technology developers across the globe. So when they decided they wanted to stand up AM capabilities in North America, it was kind of like, well, what about that chick over there that was doing friction stir welding? She seemed excited about technology. So that's really what started launched everything into additive. So I got to stand up a laser wire directed energy deposition team in North America. So we signed a giant CRADA with Oak Ridge National Labs. Spent many million dollars on standing up, large robot, 20 kilowatt laser beams, and did, starting from the very beginning with building a team as well as all the technologies. And I think the thing that, two things. One, it made me a DED enthusiast for life. So I'm certainly one of the DED leads for our team, and I get really nerdily excited about the topic. But the other part was, again, it's the people aspect. I really loved building the team, but what it was really cool is I got to travel all over the world. And so I learned about additive on both aerostructures and engine structures, but I also got to meet all these amazing people. So I was over in the UK, in Sweden, in the Netherlands, in Germany. And so it was this really great kind of education from a technology standpoint, but also from a people and a cultural standpoint.
That's really exciting. So you traveled around the world to do this.
I did. I think the other thing that people I joke about is I was in the process of becoming a mother at the same time. And so I jokingly talk about my friction stir welding baby and my additive manufacturing baby, because I always seem to be taking a very big personal leap at the same time as a big technology opportunity came along with the company.
Both that personal leap forward and the leap forward in additive technology.
Yeah.
That's a great way to put it. Now, as you look forward to the future of additive technology, not personal technology or kids so much, what excites you most about the additive technology space?
I think one of the things is just the smart and efficient use of materials and processes. I think having worked in manufacturing, and you see all the bins of chips that are going out of a metal manufacturing facility, and you're kind of like thinking like, okay, it took energy to go and produce that product, and then it took a bunch of energy to machine it away. Additive kind of represents this possibility of using things much more efficiently. So I think there's a really amazing sustainability as well as, cost impact of using things intelligently. And then I think the other area for me that I'm getting more and more excited about is, additive is inherently digital. It's a 3D model, and it's unlike some traditional manufacturing that is, digital to a certain extent. And I think there's been times where that wealth of data has been distracting, and in fact, almost slows down qualification efforts because there's more data than you ever had before. But on the other side is that access to data is a huge opportunity. And we are seeing where people are using machine learning and eventually getting into AI concepts to really harness that data, understand the processes, and then also link that to qualification. So having seen technologies take 5 or 6 years to go from this concept to, millions of dollars later, I really am excited to see where we can speed things up with the intelligent use of software and, these more advanced technologies.
That space is definitely changing every day. Well, Laura, thank you so much for joining Ok Xoomer today.
Thanks for having me, Aaron.
And everybody, thanks for watching. We'll be back again another couple days with another episode of Ok Xoomer. Stay safe and stay healthy.